These are men married to women, plus Mormon, double homicide.
Tithing to TLC, my husband's not gay. Did you expect this to start with the good old TW? That this is going to talk about some very serious themes within many, many groups, not just the group that's being spoken about certain camps that convert people to thinking things that are not what they actually think. So if that's going to be something that's really, really triggering, feel free to scroll. That being said, let's continue. Start from the bottom up. This was not its own series. This was one episode in a series called TLC Presents, which has some of the absolute worst episode titles I've ever seen in my life, including one we're going to cover real quick called How to Be a Good Submissive Wife. How indeed. But this caused an immediate controversy and only aired 1 or 2 times before it was actually pulled from being able to air. You can still find the episode for purchase on like Amazon and stuff like that. But TLC had to pull it because the backlash was so intense because of what these people represent, what they were pushing, and what ideals they were trying to get across. This is a show about, again, people who work and push that therapy that converts people. You know what I'm saying? Because if I say those words together, TikTok's not going to be very happy with me. But here, I'll explain it.
I get good grades. I go to church. I'm a cheerleader.
There's 3 couples and this one dude go on this show, and all 3 of the couples are heavily involved in this type of therapy. Big air quotes, it is not that. Period. It's not even up for discussion on this page. Okay, so they are heavily involved before, to this day, and when they were younger, very likely sent to a place like this and drank the Kool-Aid, Flavor Aid, it was actually Flavor Aid, and decided to become that kind of person. Now, there's a lot that goes into that, though, and that's what I really need people to understand when it comes to this. There is a lot of coercion from every single side that ends up with people living in lives like this where they're clearly not very happy and no one's really telling the truth. One of the biggest parts of this and one of the biggest pushes, and actually so in this whole show, a lot of people are really getting stuck on this thing that they say SSA, same attraction, right? Well, they're not making that up. They didn't make that up. They were told that. So they find that there's a difference. You can be whoever you are, but just don't act on it. It's a lot. Not to mention, I want to be very clear, even though this is on the LDS website, many groups are doing this. Many groups. Another side note that's very important in the show, and this is one thing people are getting stuck on, is that, oh my God, they're having kids. Well, bodies work. Bodies can work. That's all I got to say about that. But if those kids come home and have any kind of feeling outside of what their parents have deemed okay, they're actually going to be sent to one of those camps, and the process will continuously recycle itself because that's where their parents were. These are the Dahlgrens, and that's a very nice nose kiss there, sir. That's a very nice nose kiss. And they have been incredibly, because this came out in about 2015, they've been incredibly outspoken about this. And they actually worked for a group called Evergreen. Evergreen shut down, and then they went to work for North Star International. Guess who's a board member at North Star International? The Benians. Now they are on boards, and he actually is at North Star International now and is a very high up there. And that place is specifically dedicated to that type of therapy. Jeff Benian. Wives are not immune to this. We've got life coaches, we've got therapists, we've got all of that stuff, but hashtag betrayal trauma, hashtag infidelity, so maybe some of the other stuff isn't working as well. However, this is my usual warning against life coaches. Continuing on. TLC, by many accounts from many people involved, intentionally left out the North Star discussion, these groups that they are a part of, Evergreen, these sorts of things, because if you mention those, people will make that connection. And so a lot of people felt like it was intentionally coercive on the part of TLC. So there was a statement made in the coverage of this.
I didn't know much about this topic. I didn't know that a girl could be with a guy that was attracted to men.
There is no topic. It's not a group of people. So we ain't nothing for you to learn.
So again, please don't get all blah, 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 blah with this creator, because, you know, honestly, a lot of people haven't been through what we've been through and don't see things kind of the way we did. But the minute a lot of us saw that, we were like, I know exactly what that is, especially with the dialogue and everything. So no, this is a group of people, and it is something that you need to actively learn about, because when you don't recognize tactics, you're at risk of those tactics working on you. So just, you know, I just wanted the deeper context of this to be understood. I am going to go further into this TLC Presents thing, and I hope you guys have a good day. I am off to school.